Welcome to the Where's Your Money podcast. No bullshit, no excuses, just straightforward financial strategies. I'm Andy, a proud Coast Guard veteran who took control of my financial future and stepped away from the traditional path at 34 years old. Each week we challenge financial norms and share practical strategies and wisdom to help you break free from the paycheck to paycheck cycle and achieve financial independence. If you are tired of working hard yet feeling like you're stuck in the same place and you are ready to break free from the financial limitations holding you back, then don't just sit there. Take action. Subscribe to my channel because your financial transformation begins now. Let's get it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Where's Your Money podcast. Today we're going to dive into something that honestly changed the way that I looked at money and life really. Before we get into it though, last week we talked about setting up your money to run on autopilot. You built the system, you got your accounts lined up, and you stopped micromanaging every single dollar. That in itself is a huge win. But now what? We've built up our financial foundation with the 5-step framework. You've created a budget, you've increased your income, you've mirrored your budget with your bank accounts and automated your finances. Now it's time to make all of those actions meaningful. Today, I wanted to go over savings, but not just saving for a flat tire or an emergency root canal. We're talking about saving with a purpose, saving with a plan. Because the truth is, if you're not saving on purpose, then you are spending by accident, and that's exactly where we're going today. There was a time in my life when I didn't have anything. Nothing in the bank, no emergency fund, no backup plan, bills stacked up to the point where I was living paycheck to paycheck like many of you do. Debt growing every single month. And I was still out here buying new cars and the latest phones like it made sense. I'd roll over negative equity from one car to the next without even thinking twice about it. Just chasing something new, thinking maybe it would make me feel better even just for a minute. But I wasn't saving. I wasn't thinking long term. I was just reacting to life. And honestly, I didn't really get it until my wife passed away. It was in that moment, that season of my life, that shifted everything. Like I've said in the past, life suddenly wasn't just about me anymore. My kids needed me fully, financially, emotionally, practically. And I realized real quick that if I didn't start putting money aside on purpose, then we were one bad day away from everything falling apart. That's when saving stopped being optional. It became a necessity. Now it's the first thing I do when money comes in, before I touch anything else. Not just saving to feel safe, but saving with purpose. Saving because you know life's going to happen and you want to be ready for it, not afraid of it. Money touches every part of life, and Scripture doesn't shy away from that either. One that doesn't get quoted enough is Luke 14:28 through 30. Suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have the money to complete it? For if you lay the foundation and are not able to finish it, everyone who sees it will ridicule you, saying, "This person began to build and wasn't able to finish." That is planning. That is vision. That's making sure that you're not halfway through something, whether it's a project, a season, or a life shift, and realizing that you don't have what you need to finish. This should hit home for you, because it does for me. That's what saving really is. It's not just about putting money away. It's about knowing what you are trying to build. You don't save just for the sake of saving. You save so you're not forced to abandon what matters halfway through. Whether that's building a business, providing and giving your kids stability, or just maintaining peace in your home, planning ahead financially gives you the power to actually finish what you start, and that's the difference. Now, most people save just to feel safe. What if the car breaks down, or what if I miss work and can't pay my rent? And yeah, those are real life problems. That's why emergency savings is necessary. But I want you to push further than that. Not just to survive. I want you to save to build, to breathe, to choose, and to live life on your terms. Start saving with purpose and with vision. I want you to think about your life for a minute. What is your purpose? What is meaningful to you? Maybe You are tired of clocking in every day at a job that you can't stand, but you can't walk away because your finances won't let you. Saving gives you options. Maybe you want your kids to see something different, to grow up in a home where money isn't always tight, where there is peace instead of tension every time a bill hits. Saving creates breathing room. Maybe you've got a dream that you've been sitting on, a business idea, a new career move, something that requires you to invest in yourself. That is what savings is for. Or maybe you just want a fucking break from life, a real vacation that isn't some stress-filled trip that you threw onto a credit card, but something that you paid for in full. No worries in the world, no debt, just rest. That's not selfish, by the way. That's human. Vacations and rest are a part of purpose too. Savings needs to become powerful, meaningful, and it needs to be tied to your life, not just your fears. So, where do you start? I always think it's important for people to separate their savings into short-term and long-term goals. Short-term goals would be your emergency fund for last-minute car repairs, medical emergencies, job loss, etc. But I don't want to bore you with that topic because we've covered this in the past. If you followed me up to this point, then by now you get the point of an emergency fund. But how about saving for a weekend getaway where you save $300 to $500? This is great for mental health and refueling ambition. One thing that's really helped my wife and I, something we honestly look forward to every time we get a break, is setting aside $300 to $500 for a quick weekend getaway. Nothing extravagant, just enough for a night or two away from our daily routines. Sometimes we get a hotel room in the White Mountains. Other times it's literally a hotel in the next town over. And that's not a joke. The destination doesn't really matter as much as the pause in your life that it creates. These little trips have been game changers for our mental health and our relationship because life gets busy, right? Work stress piles up, chores become autopilot, and even meaningful conversations can get replaced with logical ones like, did you pay the electric bill this month? Or what's for dinner? But when we hit pause and change locations, we get to be us again. We slow down. We laugh more. We talk about our dreams and dumb ideas and favorite memories. We hold hands again like we're dating. It's like we get to reset everything. Our mindset, our connection, and even our ambition. I can't tell you how many good ideas have come out of these like little getaways, both personally and professionally. Sometimes those weekend getaways just aren't enough though. Maybe what you really need is a true reset, like a full week to disconnect, recharge, and actually breathe again. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you're not going to make that happen unless you plan for it. You're not waking up one random Tuesday with a couple grand magically sitting in your account, ready to fund a beach vacation. It is possible, you just have to break it down. Let's say you want to spend a week in Florida next spring. Picture it. Warm sand under your feet, ocean breeze, no work, no emails, no labor, just you, maybe your kids, soaking it all in. Flights, hotel, food, rental car, excursions, maybe $2,500 to $3,000 total depending on your lifestyle and where you're going to visit. That sounds like a lot up front, but if you start saving now and spread that out over 12 months, that's only about $250 a month. Which is like $60 a week. Basically the cost of a few takeout meals or that random Amazon cart you forgot when you ordered from it. When you approach it this way intentionally, it becomes realistic. It becomes doable. You're not sacrificing everything, you're just prioritizing what matters more. Experiences, memories, and rest. Because let's face it, vacations don't happen by luck. They happen because someone made a decision months in advance to start setting money aside. Someone said, you know what? I deserve this. My family deserves this. I want to live a little, not just survive the grind. And then they backed that up with action. And yes, there is effort involved in this. Budgeting, maybe cutting back in other places, but when you are sitting poolside with a frozen drink watching the sunset, you're going to thank yourself 100 times over. It's not just about a trip. It's about proving to yourself that you can make something happen when you plan for it. So if you've been daydreaming about that Florida sun, that mountain cabin, that city you've always wanted to explore, then start now. Start small, but just start. Because saving isn't just about money, it's about freedom, peace of mind, and creating the kind of life that you don't need a break from all of the time. These short-term goals can keep you moving forward and enjoying life, but they can't take away from your long-term goals either. Your long-term goals include buying a house, investing in a cash-flowing asset, or quitting that job that you hate and building something of your own. These long-term savings goals, they are not just numbers in a spreadsheet, they are actually your future. And it's easy to push them off in favor of short-term wants, but that's how dreams stay out of reach. The key is balance. Don't abandon your future for the now. Instead, split your money with intention. Give every dollar a job. The truth is, money with no purpose is money that disappears. When your savings don't have clear direction, they become easy to dip into. You start borrowing from them with no real plan to pay it back. And before you know it, both your short-term and long-term goals drift further and further away. And that's really the difference between goals that happen and goals that stay stuck in your head. A plan. When you start assigning every dollar a job, you stop guessing. You stop stealing from yourself. You stop letting your future drift away. Here's what made it all click for me. A savings bucket. I mean real, separate bank accounts. Not just mental math or thinking, I'll remember this money is there for this thing later. No, it doesn't work like that. Not for me at least. So I created individual savings accounts, each with a specific purpose. Now, yeah, it might sound like overkill at first, but let me tell you something. It's been a game changer for me. Aside from the usual suspects like an emergency fund and a yearly expense fund, I also have a wife gift fund. This one's honestly clutch. It's not about spending big, it's about being ready to show love in a way that's thoughtful and not last minute. Like this past year, I pulled from that fund and surprised my wife with a new Michael Kors bag. I bought flowers, pajamas, and wine. There's no stress, there's no guilt, no swiping a card and figuring it out later, just being able to surprise her because I planned ahead. The look on her face, worth every dollar. That's what these buckets are about. Not restriction, but preparation. Love should be intentional too. How about an investing fund? Without an investing fund, I wouldn't have been able to jump on the opportunity to buy new 18-foot water slides to add to my rental inventory from my bounce house company. And let me be clear, these buckets are important because we're not pulling money from emergency funds. We're not pulling money from our holiday funds. These funds are off limits, period. But because I had separate bank accounts already in place for opportunities like this, I was able to make the move fast, without hesitation, and without throwing off my entire financial system. Now those slides, they've already started paying for themselves and are already booking, and it's only April. That's the power of saving with intention. You stay ready so you don't miss when that moment shows up. Each account has a clear purpose. That's what keeps me from accidentally crossing wires, like justifying using emergency money for last-minute flight deals. And that's really the point. Buckets give your money structure. They make your goals visible. You don't have to wonder, can I afford this? You will know. It's either in the bucket or it's not. Savings shouldn't be punishment. It's not about being cheap or depriving yourself of joy. I still eat well. I still take my kids out. I still enjoy my life. I go on vacations. I'm not out here living like I took a vow of poverty. The only difference between me and you is that I'm not moving blind. When saving becomes part of your lifestyle, not just something you do when you feel ready, it shifts your whole relationship with money. It's no longer, ugh, I can't buy that. It's, that doesn't align with what I am building. That's not a restriction. That's your life choices, your life's direction, moving forward with purpose, not reacting to emotional wants. Because when you do have a plan, when you've got savings buckets set up, goals in sight, a purpose behind every dollar, you stop moving out of guilt or pressure. You start moving with clarity. You are not broke. You are being intentional. There's a big difference. One's rooted in fear, the other's rooted in power. So here's your money move of the week. I want you to think about your life. I want you to think about your life's purpose, the meaning you have for it, the goals that you've set out to do but haven't done. Why haven't you started taking action towards those goals? Your goals right now are just dreams, and they're dreams because you haven't disciplined yourself to take action. Why are we not taking action? I want you to open up a new account for it. Online banking makes this easy, and I want you to automate just $10 a week into this account. Now, that's not a lot of money, I understand, but it's something. So if you notice that your relationship with your spouse is struggling, maybe having a gift fund for that person can help spark and rekindle the relationship. Having $10 a week into this account can easily buy them a card in their favorite piece of candy. If you do it every other week or once a month, that's $20 to $40. That's easily flowers, a card, in their favorite piece of candy. Maybe a bottle of wine. If you're trying to start a business, maybe you've always wanted to become a landscaper. Well, that's easy. $10 a week times 52 weeks is $520. You can easily buy a lawnmower for $520 and start your landscaping company. Maybe you've wanted to invest in stocks. $10 a week, you could literally invest in stocks at $10 a week. No problem. There are plenty of stocks out there that don't cost a lot of money. Maybe you've wanted to buy a new book. Call it the book fund. $10 a week, that easily gets you a new book every other week. Anything you desire, you've just got to start taking action to actually making it a reality. If you keep just saying, this is my goal, but you're not actually saving for that goal, then that goal is just a dream. You are wasting your time. So start today. Stop wasting time. Start today. Even if it's as simple as $10 a week, just start building the habit today of saving week after week. And before you know it, that account will be built up. So that's really it for today. I hope this episode hit home for you because I know it did for me. And I want you to send it to somebody that you care about, someone who's still flying blind with no savings plan. There's no shame in it. We've all been there, including myself. The difference is now we all know better, and we can start taking action to do better. And then next week, we're going to get into debt and not just paying it off, but breaking the emotional grip it can have on your life. And it's probably going to hit close to home again, just like this episode. So make sure that you're following the show, drop a review if this show helped you out, and feel free to reach out on Instagram or email, wherever. I read all the messages, and I appreciate every single one of them. Until next time, save on purpose, not by accident. Take care.